Guys, welcome to JavaisAwesome, and in this video we can talk about pattern number 19. We have already completed pattern number 18 up to that, and let's talk about pattern number 19. So if you see the pattern number 19, okay, it's look like something symmetrics. Okay, if you see here, if I differentiate from here, so 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5, so it's look like something symmetrics of the first top, it means first half, okay, and below half. Those are the symmetrics, or you can say just opposite, or you can say reflections of the mirror, like that you can say. Okay, so this is look like a symmetrics. So if I count like how many rows are there, so I don't want to print whole thing at the same time. So what we can do is, first we can print the actual things and then we can print the reflections. Okay, so this is the symmetrics. So if I count here 1 2 3 4 5, so let's suppose n equal to 5. Okay, so we have a n equal to 5. Now if you talk about this one, so how many every star of the every row is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So it means we have to go up to n into 2. Okay, so from n equal to 5 to we have to print 10 times, okay, each and every row. So this is the some basic idea. Now let's talk about our actual things, what we have to do. So what we are printing here, we are printing some space, first some star, then a space, then a star. So if I write down here, what is the star? So let's talk about a star, then we are giving the space, SPAC, space, and then we are giving the star. This is the patterns I have seen here. What we are doing, so if you see, if you divide from here, how many stars they are printing? 5 star and 5 star. So we can say here 5 star, 5 star, and 0 space. If you talk about here 4 2 4, okay. If you talk about here 3 3, and here 4. If you talk about here 2 2 6 0, now it will print 1, okay, 1 and 8. That is the one things. And just opposite we have to print the reflection. So what we can do, we can write 1 8 1 2 6 2, here 3 4 3, next 4 2 4, here 5 0 5. So this is the opposite reflections we have to print it, nothing else. Okay, so this is the things we have to know. Okay, so we have understood. What we can do is, we can print first this part, okay, and then we can print this part. This is the two symmetric things we can print it. So let's talk about while printing a star. So while printing a stars, if n equal to 5, so it will go down one by one. So we can write it whatever the n we have. So n, it will go up to n, but minus I, okay, n minus I it will do, and then plus or minus 1 we can do, okay, or plus 1 we can do based on the requirement we can do. So this is also n minus I plus 1 we can do. And while printing a star, we can take one extra variables, okay, and those we can increment it by 2, okay. So it will print. Here we can decrement it, here also we can decrement it, here also we can increment it. So like that we can do. Let's see the code. I hope you understood the mathematically what we are going to do exactly. Okay, so let me go here. So as of now 18 is done. Let's create one method called pattern number 19. So what I'm going to do is, I will copy this code, okay, and I will change the name, which is pattern number 19, correct. As of now everything is clear. Let me remove it. We don't require this one, is also not required. Okay, next line is required, so let me remove it also. Okay, so this is 5 times we have to print, so it will go 1. If I equal to 1, it will go up to n times. Here we have to print a space, not a space, a star, a space, and again a star. Okay, this is the 3 things we have to do, and then after next line, that's it. Okay, so while printing a star, what we have to do, we have to print here. If I show you what we have to print it, we can print this part first. Okay, this first part, this is the just reflections of the right angle triangle. So let me print those, and last one. So what can I do is I can just write one for loop. I hope you already know, you can do it easily. Int j equal to 1 and j less than equal to n minus I. So it will go up to 4 times, but I don't want up to 4 times, I want up to 5 times. So I will add one value and I will give increment as a j plus plus, and I will simply print it s out. Okay, and I don't want ln, I will just give here one s star. My requirement is done. Okay, let me print it. So if I print it, you can see this is printing something. No, I don't want this one, I have to call the 19. Okay, so once I call the from the main method 19, it will print the actual methods. And if you see here, we are able to see 5 star, 4 star, 3 star, 2 star, 1 star. That is correct. Okay, in the same way, okay, in the same way we have to print last one also. So let me copy and give here also. So this one is also done. Okay, let me print it once again. So if you see, printed both at the one place, but I don't want like that. We have to take care of the space also. So if I write the logic for a space, okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's take the same loop. Okay, and it will start with the 1. Okay, and it will go up to a space. Okay, so what is the space right now? First point we have to take. So right now a space is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we can take initial space is 0. Okay, and int space is 0. Okay, we can give the name also, int initial space. Okay, so initial space is 0, we can give. Okay, where? Here. Okay, we can give 0, initial space is 0, and we can print just a space. Okay, so our work is done. So first time 0, it will print, it will not execute it, it will print everything. The next time, while doing a next line, I want to make the initial space, okay, as a plus equal to 2. Okay, plus I have to increment it by 2. So here you can write initial space equal to initial space plus 2, and if you give it, and if I run one more times, you can see actual what we are accept, like we want, those we have printed off half of. Okay, let's do the opposite one. Let's do the opposite one, or reflections or symmetrics, whatever you can say, that is fine. Okay, so those what we can do is same way, copy those. Okay, copy those, all those code, and here you can write symmetrics, and here paste it. And what do you have to do is, here this space will start with which one? 8. Okay, so already your space is what? 8. Now you can do minus, minus, minus. Okay, that is clear? Clear, right? So if it is already 8, what we can do is we can set as a 8 and now minus, minus, minus. So what we can do now, our initial space, or you can say space Here you can modify also. Okay, whatever the initial space we have, we can set it initial space equal to initial space minus 2. So this is will go minus minus minus. So let me go and check 8, and again it will 8, and next time it will do minus minus. Our initial space is minus minus here. Okay, so once you do the initial space is minus, okay, here you can do, otherwise you can do here also, okay, at the end, because one times we have to run it. Okay, so let it be copy, and at the end we can do it. Okay, every time initial space is minus 2. Okay, this is the one things we have managed the space, and this is the up to go n times, and this will, now here we have to think in the opposite way. Okay, so if you go here, what it will do, it will start with again 1 and up to n. Okay, so those things we can manage easily. So here if you go, we can start with the 1 and it will go up to I. Okay, I, it will go up to I. Okay, correct. And then after initial space is fine, I think. Okay, and we can print the stars. I think that's it. Okay, let me run this code. Okay, so if you see this, something we are missing here. Okay, something we have given some extra space. Okay, that is happen minus 2 here also, but we don't want. So what we can do is we can set the initial space here is initial space equal to initial space we can give 2 into n minus 2. Correct, 2 into n minus 2. So 2 to ja like if it is 5 to ja 10, it will give the 8. So like that we can consider, and we can print it. Let me print once. So if you see here, it's giving the correct output now, what we are expecting. Okay, based on our requirement. Okay, if you give here initial space also, that is fine. Okay, not required, but they are not considering it because initial space is increased, I think, that place. Okay, so this is the things. Okay, and if you want to do the online code, you can just copy this code. Okay, you can copy whole code. Okay, and you can go to the online compilers, whatever you have, and this is called a symmetrics void. And inside the symmetrics void, if you see, they are giving the n equal to 3, and for that you have written the code. Okay, and they will pass the n equal to 1. But here if you see, this output is asking for the space, so make sure you have to give the space after a star, after each and every star. Okay, otherwise your test case is not pass. Okay, let me run this code. So if you run this code, your test case is all are pass, we can submit easily. Okay, and once you submit it, it will accept it. Let's talk about the pattern number 20. Okay, because 20 is also very important, and it's a symmetrics pattern. So whenever you see any patterns, as of now I have covered lots of the things, but whenever you see any patterns, like just before we have discussed the pattern number 90, now we are discussing pattern number 20. Okay, it's something similar, but something is different also. In the 19th, we have seen some of the symmetrics of the half of it. Okay, but in that there is no symmetrics or reflections like that, but this is called a symmetrics. Pattern is symmetrics. So if you see here very carefully, what they are doing is they are printing 1 2 3 4 5, again 4 3 2 1. So this is the patterns they are flowing. Okay, so if I count how many, 1 2 3 4 5, so it's a 5, so we can assume n equal to 5, correct? Okay, how many dot means a star they are printing here? So 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, 6 star, 7 8 9 10, they are printing 10, so it means 2 into n we have to go. Okay, so 10 star they are printing here. So this is how many times? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so they are printing 9 times. So we can say our first loop will run 2 into n minus 1. Okay, if n equal to 5, 9 times we have to run it. Okay, so this is the one things we have find out, some overview. Now if you see here, we are printing some star, space, star. So let's write down here, what is that? Star, what is that? Space, what is that? Star. How many star they are printing? So 1 star, 1 star. How many space? So if it is 10, then definitely it's a 8 space they are printing, correct? 2 2 2 2, then what, how much? 6, 3 3 4, 2 2, then how much? It's not 2 2, it should be a 4 and 4, and this should be 2. 5 5, 5 star, 5 star, here we have to 0. Now we need a symmetrics here. So n equal to 5, as of now it's done. Now what we can do? 4 4, and here 2 3 2 1, correct? 3 2 1, here 2 4 6 8. Okay, this is the half of the reflections. So what is the meaning of that is, while printing a star, we have to print the star from 1 to n times. After that, if I is greater than n, then we have to decrement it. So what we can do? We can make a star equal to 2 into n minus I. 2 into n minus I. Because here if you think about 2 into n is 5 minus I will become 6. So 6 minus 10 minus 6 is what? It will give 4. So we can print the 4 star. If I is 7, then it will give 3. If I is 8, it will give 2. If I is 9, then it will give 1 star. That's it, and we can finish it. Okay, so this one is a 9 times we have to print. Okay, so let's talk about one by one. Let's print, write a first loop. Okay, I'm going to my clips, and here I'm going to create one method. So let's copy some of the methods. So this is the one methods I'm going to copy here, and let's paste here now. What is the pattern? So pattern number is 20, correct? Here we can call pattern number is 20. Okay, while printing it, I don't want these things. Okay, I don't want these things, but next line it's required. Without next line we can't go anywhere. Okay, but one more things here we have to decide. We have to print a star, a space, a star, correct? So this is the 3 things we have to do, and then after next line. Okay, clear? But here if you see here, how many rows are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So 9 times we have to print it. So our first loop will go 1 to 2 into n, 2 into n minus 1. So 10 minus 1 is what it will become? It will become 9. So it will print 9 times. Correct? Correct. Let's try to print the star. So what a star they are printing? They are printing the star like 1 star, then 2 star, then 3 star, then 4 star, then 5 star, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So this one we can figure out. Okay, so while printing a stars, what we have to do? Okay, we have to print the stars. So int j equal to 1 and j less than, it will go up to n, and j plus plus if I do. And if I try to print a star, what will happen? It will print some star but not what we want. So let me print it. So if you see, they are printing the 5 star, 5 star, 5 star, but I don't want like that. I want based on the I. Let's suppose based on the I. So if I give like that, so it's printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want edge of now only, I don't want below 1. Okay, so we have already discussed one patterns. Based on that, you can go and you can check out it. It's a very important patterns. Okay, so you can take the help of that. Otherwise I will show you here also, no issue in that. So what we have to do is, we can create one star here. Okay, what we can do is, we can write one star here into a star, and a star will take the I. Okay, based on the I it will print, but we can write one condition here. If I will go up after n, then what we can do is make a star equal to 2 into n minus I. What is the meaning of it? If it is greater than, I will be greater than, it means if I go here and if I show you, you can see the output, then you can understand. Okay, so if you see here, this is the 3, right? So this is the 5. So after 5, what we have to do is, we have to do the decrement. So what we can do, we can write 2 into I minus 2 into n minus I. So what is the n? N is 5, 5 to the 10, 10 minus I will be 6, so it will give here 4 star. So only we can print here a star, not based on the I. So we can write here star. Okay, just format it and let me give the run. So if you see, it's printed as I expected. Okay, based on this condition, if I greater than n, make it a star equal to 2 into n minus I, so that we are getting our actual record like 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, because we are doing I minus 2 into n minus I. Correct? Second part we have to write. So while printing a second part, in the same way we have to do. So we can copy this code and we can put it here. Okay, but as of now we have not handled the space. Okay, let me run. So if I run this, both are at the one same things. So we don't want to do like that. We have to print the now space. Space is also very important if I talk about. Okay, so let's go to our figure. Here the initial space is 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Then it's incrementing 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, this is the space we have to do. So it will start with the 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. So let me start with 8. So we can declare one variables here, int space equal to 8. So how we can specify it? We can specify 2 into n minus 2. So this will give 8. 5 to the 10 minus 2, it will give 8. So once it is 8, I am saying to print a space. Okay, print the space up to that and don't give the star. Okay, that's it, I'm saying. And if I run this, you can see, okay, they are maintaining the 8 space every time. But what I want, we have to do the decrement. Okay, so after the next line, I will say, hey, a space, I don't want every time increment, do some decrement. So I will write a space equal to a space minus 2. Okay, because initial space is 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. So it will find it's doing the minus minus, and let's see the output. So if you see the output right now, the first part is done, that is completely right, no issue in that. But while doing a second part, we have not done any minus. Okay, our space will not execute because our space will become 0 right now. Okay, so we can write one conditions here. Hey, if whatever the I we have, if it is greater than equal to n, correct, then do these things. A space equal to a space plus 2. If it is not, then do these things. This is the simple math I have used. Okay, if it is I greater than n, do plus plus because I required a space. If else condition, a space is already 8, so do the minus minus. Okay, and if I run this code, you can see what we want we have display. So up to that, this else condition will maintain. Okay, this part. Okay, and after I will become 6, I greater than equal to n, so I will become 6. What I am doing, we are going with this space which is 2, 4, 6, 8, like that. Okay, so I hope you understood. Let's copy this code and go to our online compilers, and we can run it and we can test it also, it's working fine or not. Okay, so if you see here, they are giving the n equal to 3 and they want to print this symmetrics patterns. So Sam is curious about the symmetrics patterns, so he decided to create one for every value of n, return the symmetrics example. So what we can do, we can write a code for that. So we have already written the code, but make sure one thing here, we have to manage the space here, but we have not managed in our code, so we can give one space, correct, and here also one space, and let's try to run it. So once I run this code, every test case is passed and you can easily submit it, correct, submit it, it's done. Now let's talk about the pattern number, which is 21, and 21 is, believe me, very important patterns. Okay, and based on that, there is so many patterns which is very important also, so don't forget it to do that. Okay, this patterns is very important. Okay guys, so if you see here, what we are doing here is, if I show you, if you see here 1 2 3 4, so it means n equal to 4 we can keep, and 1 2 3 4, so this is nothing but 4 by 4 we are printing the star, but only corner we are printing, only corner, we are not printing inside this. So here also we can see we have to print this some star, a space and a star, right, correct. This is the three things we are doing. But here if you talk about the space, so space we can maintain easily, it's very easy. Okay, and if I and j, so based on the I and j we can cover it. Okay, so if I talk about here, I should be 1, so we can say if our I, what is, if our I or j, whatever, if our j equal to 1, if our j equal to 1, then print this line, correct. If I equal to 1, print this line. If j equal to 5, print this line. If I equal to 5, print this line, correct, simple. So based on that we can print the stars. Okay, j equal to 1, j equal to 1, j equal to 5, those we can put here. And while maintaining a space apart from this anything, a space. No need to care about it. Okay, let's go to our applications, and here let me copy some of the methods. Okay, and do one thing, paste it here and change the pattern number is 21. Okay, and here also we have to call as a 21. Remove this part, not required. Remove this part, required, but I will remove it completely. Okay, and here I am going to write, so let me write it. Okay, so this is basically a next line, we have to do it anyhow, and here n will be 4. Okay, so once it will come with the 4, what we are going to do is we are writing one conditions. Hey for loop, if it will execute, okay, up to n times. So I can say int j equal to 1 and j less than equal to n and j plus plus. It will execute, no doubt in that. Okay, and print the stars. I see. Okay, so if I print this, you can see they will print 4 by 4. It's not 4 by 4. Let me remove this ln, and now if I give the print ln, you can see it's a 4 by 4, 5 by 5, whatever we have given, it's printed. Now what I want, I want, if you give here 4 also, it will print 4. Okay, it should be a 4 by 4, correct. What I want is, I want a space. So what can I do is, I can write one things like here for loop. Okay, I don't want other for loop also, we can do with the 1, 2 for loops, inner for loops. And while printing a stars, I can write one if conditions. If I equal to 1, okay, and I equal to n, I equal to 1 and I equal to n, print those line, else print the star. SOUP. Okay, I don't want next line here, I just want star. So if I write here just one space, and I have not written, just example, I have not written this one, and I have just given I equal to 1. So whenever I equal to 1, what it will print? It will print one line. Okay, so it above line it will print. So if you see here, it's printed 4 star in the above line. If I give here I equal to n, what it will print? It will print this line, correct. If I give here I equal to I, not I, now we have to print j equal to, otherwise if you give I, so I equal to 3, it will print at the 3 line, it will not print on the 2 line. But I don't want here, what I want is in the j place I want which is n. Okay, so you can see the last line will be printed, this last line will be printed. And one more, I want j equal to 1, so that what we are expecting, it will print it. Okay, this only we want. So based on this, whatever the patterns you want to print, you can print it while using a if-else conditions and based on your requirement. So just we have to take one loop, and inside the inner loop, based on your row and column, you can decide and you can print it. Practical of pattern number 21. Okay, we have already done the code. We can take this code and we can go to the online compilers and we can check it like it's working fine or not. Okay, so if you see this is the patterns we have to print. Okay, triple star and then a space and we have to print the stars. So what we can do is we can put our code here. Okay, and I think no space is required, only this space. Okay, and let me run it. So once we run it, you can see all those test cases are passed and we can submit it easily. Okay, so this is nothing but just a square we have printed, and those squares only one row we have printed, and I have already explained you this code. Okay, so no need to explain again. Okay, let's talk about the pattern number, which is 22. So I hope you are not able to see here properly what they have written. So they have written same thing which I have written here. Okay, so if you see these patterns, so this is called a top, this is called a down. Okay, and this is called a left. Okay, and this is right. So if you see these patterns, like the first one row, column, okay, each and everything, if you see the outer line, it's a 4, inner line will be 3, again inner line, if you see here, it's a 2, and after that it's a only 1. So this is the patterns we have to print. So what we can do for that? So if you think here, what we have started with the 4 and we are going up to 1. So what we can do is we can assume, okay, our n equal to 4. N is what? 4. Let me write here, n equal to 4. Okay, so if n equal to 4, how many rows are there? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So those both are 7 by 7. Okay, so what we can do is we can assume if our n equal to 4, then this should be, row should be or column should be 2 into n minus 1. It is 7 times, correct? Right? If n is 4, 4 to the 8, 8 minus 1 will be 7. So through that we can consider it 2n minus 1. Okay, so our row will execute 2n minus 1, our column will execute 2 minus 1, so both loop will execute 2 minus 1. But here we have to think about some different way to printing it. We are going to write some of the logic, okay, which is very important to understand you. So let's do one thing. As of now we have understand what is things we have to do. Okay, so let me go to our Eclipse and let's copy this code, which is pattern number 21, and we can put those code below and we can change the pattern name is 22. Let me format it, and I don't want these things. Okay, next line definitely I want, but here it will start with 1 or you can start with the 0. It's based on your choice only, but here it will go up to 2 into n. So you can multiply n into 2 or 2 into n anything, and minus 1. 2 into n minus 1 here also we have to give. So 2 into minus 1. So both loop will execute 2n minus 1, so which is 7 times 7 times if n is what? 4. Correct? Inside this, if I write anything, for example I want to print 4. So if I write here 4, what will happen? The whole place it will print 4 4 4. Let me call also So from here we have to call it 22 methods, and let me run it. So if I run this, okay, I have given ln not required, okay, and if you see this code, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so the same structure we have display, but what is our requirement is we have not display yet, right? So let's go to this pattern, and here if you see, okay, here if you see the entire 4 3 2 1 it's printing. So what we can do is we can use some mathematical formula. Okay, mathematical formula means like whatever the value we have, so n is our 5, so n minus value, value, value. So if our n is 4, minus itself each value, each and every value, with that we can design one patterns. Otherwise here also you can understood no issue. So 4 minus 4 it will give 0, 4 minus 3 it will give 2, it will give 1, 4 minus, if you do something it will give it. So new matrix, if I try to design it, okay, okay, if I try to design it, okay, if I try to design it with the formula called n minus value, okay, so our new matrix will become n minus value. So n is what? 4, 4 minus 4 will become 0, so 0 0 0 0 0 0. How many times? 4 or 3? 7 times. 2 3 4 5 6 7, 2 3 4 5 6 7, 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, this will happen if I do n minus value. So n is what? 4, and 4 minus value is 3, so it will give 1. So 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, it will give. If I do the minus 2, n minus 2, so it will give 2 here, 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 and 2. And finally if I do n minus 1, 4 minus 1, it will give 3 here. Okay, so this is the matrix it will look like. Okay, so basically our formula is we have to substitute here if you are doing this n minus value. Okay, so itself this is the value, so what we can do is we can do the minus. Okay, so for example, if this is top, this is right, this is down, or this is left, right? This is the 4 things we have considered. And if you talk about, so this is called I, and if you talk about this one, this is called J. Okay, so we can make it as a matrix, and it will start with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? This is the things we will cover. So if I want to find out the T, okay, the main important things is each and every point. For example, if I tell you here I want to find out this one means what? 3. How can I find out? So I have to find out the minimum distance between 4 sides. Okay, so one up, left, right, and this one, this 4 distance I have to calculate. Okay, so if you think about this distance, so this distance is nothing but 1, correct? If you see here carefully, the 1 which I am talking about, so the 1 is, if you take about the top distance is what? Right now we are in the 2, so 2 minus 1 is what? it will give 2 minus 1 is 1. So if it is here, if it is this one, then 3 minus 1 it will give 2. If you are here, so 3, so it should be a 4, so 4 minus 1. So we can say top we can calculate whatever the I value we have. If your I start with 1, you have to do minus 1. If your I start with 0, you have to do, okay, you don't want to do anything, okay, but you have to start with the 0 only. So 0, 1, 2, 3, it will be 3. So 3 minus 3, it will become 0. Okay, so here we can say, okay, t minus 1. So t equal to I minus 1, we can find out the any positions of the distance. Okay, so each and every individual value we can find out the minimum distance of top. What is the distance? We can find out the distance of top, distance of left, distance of right, distance of down, and in which distance is minimum, those we can consider and we can print it. If I talk about this one, so if I talk about this one, so here if you see the minimum distance is what? 1, correct? Minimum distance is what? 1. 2 minus 1, so it should be a 1. If you go with left, it's a 2. If you go with the right, it's a 2. If you go down, it's a 4, 5. So only we have to take the minimum, so we can take here minimum, so it should be a 1. If you talk about this one, so minimum distance is what? We can talk about the right is the minimum. Here right is the minimum distance. Top is not minimum, down is not minimum, right is not minimum, but left is minimum. This is the left is minimum. How? So right now what is the j value? Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So j value is nothing but 2, and 2 minus 1 it will give 1. So we can say left also we can calculate j minus 1. Okay, but calculating a right, okay, what we can do? What is the entire distance? So entire distance, if you talk about this one, so the entire distance is 2 into n minus 1, right? 2 into n minus 1. This is the 7 entire distance. In that, what is the I distance? So we can do minus j, because j distance we have to find out for the right. If you talk about down, so down also same thing. What is the total distance? So total distance is nothing but 2 into n minus I, minus 1, right? 2 into n minus 1 and minus I we can do. So through that we can calculate which distance? Distance of the down, distance of the right, distance of the top, distance of the left, any individual element, and in that element we can find out the minimum distance and we can take those. Okay, let's do with the code. In the first time maybe you not understood, but second time definitely you can understood. Okay, do the practice. So if I go to pattern number 22 and if I show you, so here if you see, while calculating a top, so int top we have given whatever the I minus 1 we have. Okay, while calculating a left, okay, which is left, so int left equal to j minus 1, correct? Left j minus 1, I think, yes, j minus 1. So we can do j minus 1. Okay, while calculating a right, j minus 1, no, this is the right only, right or left? I think left, I think right. Okay, right distance j minus 1. What is the left distance? So left distance we can calculate like whatever we have left. Okay, so left equal to, we can calculate 2 into I, 2 into n minus 1 and minus, this is the left, so we can do the minus j, right? And int left, right, down, so down we can calculate just same thing, but we have to do the minus by I, correct? And after that, while printing it, we have to take the formula called minimum. So we have a n, whatever the value we have n, which is 4, and we can do the operations like math dot minimum value. What is the minimum value? So here you can write two things, which is math dot min, and we can pass here top, anything you can pass, no restrictions here. Top dot down, here you can take left or right, correct? So here also math dot min, right? And here we can pass top down, left, right? So this is the 4 things we have to give anyhow. Okay, so this is the things we have to maintain it. Okay, so what we are doing is, whatever the n we have, current value n is 4, so 4 minus minimum distance of the top, down, left, right. How we have find out? So through that we can find out the minimum, it will give the minimum. Through that we can find out the minimum, and in that we can find out the which one is minimum with this one, and through that we can identify the minimum. And n minus minimum is nothing but, what is our n? N minus minimum is nothing but what? So for example, here we have a 3. Okay, so 4 minus 1 is what? It will give 3. Okay, so like that we can print it. If I run this code, you can see the output clearly. Let me run it. Okay, so if I run this code, you can see 4 4 4 4 4 4 3 3 3 3 2 2 2 1. So this is the code. Some of the peoples are confused, like if I start with the 1, what will, if I start with the 0, what will happen? So if you are going with the 0, it should be like you are going up to that 2 into n minus 1. Okay, remove this one and also remove this one and go with the 0, no issue. But one more things, remove this one I also, because we can consider only I, and here we have to do the 2. Okay, 2 and 2. So those things we have to consider while printing with the I equal to 0. It will print the same output, no differences. Okay, let's take this code and go to the online compiler and let's test it. Okay, so going to this one, if you see, they are giving the n equal to 4, n equal to 3, whatever you can give, it will work for that. Okay, that is the dynamically we are writing the code, so it will not fail for the different input. Okay, let me run it. It's taking some time, no issue. Okay, so what you have to do is, always you have to think like how many rows, how many columns, and what are our logic. Okay, so in this case we have to find out the top, left, right, down, all those distance, and in that distance we want minimum distance. Okay, from all those side we need a minimum distance, and whatever the exact n value we have, from that we can do the minus and it will print it. Okay, so this is the formula you have to keep in your minds and you have to do the work basically. Okay, so it will give the correct output anyhow. Okay, so this is the things guys, and I hope you understood. I think why it's not working. Let me refresh this page. Okay, and let me run one more times. Compilation checking. It's a success. All test cases are submitted, and we can done it, I think, and it's done. Okay, so this is overall patterns. I will come up with some more pattern also if it is required. You can do in the comment like we need some more pattern also, or maybe if you want something like my personal some pattern which is I think it's a very important, and if you know those patterns then you can do some betters. So you can do the comment. Okay, like we need some more patterns or whatever the topics you are expecting, you can comment it. I will definitely reply you and I will come up with that. Okay, thank you so much guys.